June 17th, 2015, it's a tragic day. Lowcountry law enforcement and first responders will never forget it. News 2's Octavia Mitchell sat down with Charleston Police Chief Cheeto Walker to talk about the department's road to healing as they honor the memory of the victims and work to protect survivors and families of the victims. Octavia?
Raymond, Charleston Police Chief Cheeto Walker was a part of the department's SWAT team back then, and he shared with me that this is the first time someone from the department sat down to do an interview on the Mother Emanuel tragedy since former Police Chief Greg Mullen left 8 years ago.
So 10 years ago at that time, I was a lieutenant and I was the commander of the SWAT team, but also the commander over investigations, crimes against property. Well, I was one of the primary responders from a command level with the investigative piece with my counterpart at the time is EDC Weiss was my counterpart in Central.
Chief Cheeto Walker has led the Charleston Police Department over a year now. On the day of the tragedy at Mother Emanuel, when a gunman opened fire and murdered 9 people during Bible study, he was one of the officers who responded to the scene.
A coordinated effort, several units, multiple agencies, and some of our federal partners responded to that incident.
Chief Walker says the survivors and families of the victims remain priority, and the department continues to work to protect them.
So we've been very protective on how we discuss that incident, our response, our involvement, and it's really to respect the families and the victims of that incident. We lost some beautiful people, but we also have people here that we still are obligated to make sure that we're doing our due diligence to take care of. And I just don't want it to get lost in, all the fanfare and the media blitzes, but day to day, not just the anniversary, we got to think about our community and how it impacts those victims.
Chief Walker says the tragedy at Mother Emanuel left a long-term impact on the Charleston Police Department.
How did the tragedy impact the police department?
Some of us was personally, connected to that incident, but we also have a job to do. We also have to make sure the biggest thing is the why. Long term, you're looking at mental health. You're looking at how are you doing? Are you able to cope?
Some former and current officers sought counseling.
It's really just making sure that nothing starts to surface, and sometimes you don't know that you're dealing with certain traumas, because that's a trauma. When you start talking about actually working that type of incident, any type of critical incident, and the long-term impacts it has not only on public safety, but their families, because it'll start showing itself, and sometimes you don't realize it.
Through heartbreak and healing, Chief Walker says CPD gained new insight.
I took my hat off to the leadership at that time. You're looking at what happened 10 years ago, fast forward to now. I think we're a much better place as far as being a more knowledgeable agency when you start talking about the impacts of critical incidents and just how we handle them.
10 years later, the Holy City continues to heal. Chief Walker says the tragedy took a toll on the entire community, and the families and survivors carry the unthinkable loss every day.
We're the first responders, but imagine the families. Imagine those people directly impacted that lost loved ones. They're feeling that 10 times more than what I'm feeling.
His message to the community:
we are here, we have a duty, and it's public safety, but we're major stakeholders in this community. And not only are we responsible for public safety, we're responsible for uplifting those in this community, and I've been unapologetic about my stance with that. We're here, and not just during times of crisis.
As Chief Walker said, we should remember the victims, their families, and survivors every day, not just today.